Welcome, everybody, to episode 64 of the A Travel Talk Show, a part of the ehCanadaTravel.com website and brought to you by the A Travel Marketing Group. Welcome to the Adventure Seeker Trilogy. Yep, I said it right. Trilogy almost sounds like a blockbuster. It calls sort of a blockbuster tone to that, don't you think?
Oh, definitely. Blockbuster, yep. Dynasty.
Okay. Yeah. Dynasty, huh?
Oh, yeah.
These four people are very special. They have a really, really great story to tell, and I'm really excited to hear the stories that they're going to tell us down the fort. So tonight is the part 3 of this adventure story, talking with 4 Canadian influencers on the A Travel Talk Show. We will be talking best adventure destinations, bucket list items, travel memories, foodie, road tripping, travel tips, and anything else that twinkles our tourism fancy, and some adventure seeker club magic. Insider information. We've got tonight lifestyle influencer Janel Coe. We have Roadtripper Cary Horning, new Canadians Harsheen, Loveleen and Harsh, and digital nomad Velika Masongsong. See, there you go. I love that, right?
I think you need more attitude there. It's Masongsong.
Okay. Yes. Adventure seeker living is special to all of us. You know why, Cole? You know why we all love adventure seeking? We all love exploring, learning new culture, language, traditions, attractions. You know why? Why?
I don't know.
Because we all understand that the greatest part of a road trip, the best part of the road trip, is not necessarily the destination. It's the journey. The way to get there, and then what's after the destination, the journey that you go out and you go find things. That's what we're all about. We're here to tell people about stories. We're here to tell people about how beautiful this country is in all its shapes, forms, cultures, traditions, sights, sounds, everything of that sort. So just so you newbies want to know a little bit, the Adventure Seeker Club of Canada are members who create authentic stories which resonates with a global audience. As they tell the stories of Canada, they share the adventures of Canada, and they create strong connections between the people of Canada and the world. Sounds pretty good, Cole? I'd sign up.
Oh, well, you did.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like you say, it's the real person stories. It's not the commercials like Cannes. It's real life, and it is pretty interesting.
It is. You are viewers. Many of you like to stay silent during the show, and then a lot of you might watch it a week later, a month later, or a year later. But there's one thing for certain: we're going to learn a lot of good information. We're going to meet a lot of good people tonight. So in the meantime, you can, if you want to become an adventure seeker, because we are getting quite a few inquiries on how to join this club. We're telling them that you got to basically wait till February, when the next time we open up, we'll bring in some new adventure seekers. But in the meantime, you can sign up as a travel influencer, which is maybe not as fancy and not as much toys, but it sure gets your hands wet, and it sure gets you into the system, and you can still produce stories of your adventures and your activities. It's a pretty cool system. So the nice thing about the ehCanadaTravel.com, which we're really proud of, is that it's created by adventure seekers, including Colin and us. We spent over a decade researching every inch of this country, all the way from the northern Nunavik in the Northwest Territories to Cape Spear, Newfoundland, to Tofino on the West Coast. And one of the things that we've definitely done is we want to basically, and what we basically have learned is that people want real stories from real people. And the fact is, they want us to check the facts. They want us to give it without any spin, no corporate speak, no hidden agenda. This is all about people just like you and me, real people sharing real ventures as it happens in real time. And we call it, very simply, people tourism. And I think that's the best type of tourism, is because there's emotion, personalities, and we've already got some fabulous articles that have come out, and you can already see their character, their personalities start showing through their words, and it's quite beautiful. It's really quite beautiful to watch and to see. So this show happens because we have invested in what's called the Cobro satellite. Our maple leaf deckled satellite, financed by our hard-earned Canadian Tire money, enables us to broadcast the Travel Talk Show every Tuesday from base camp here in Canada, somewhere in Canada, right here on Facebook and YouTube Live. If the satellite should go down, I mean, we've duct taped it good, so it should be able to be okay. If we lose signal, do not change the channel. With a little bit of maple syrup love, we'll get her back up. Colin and I will do our little twigs, and we'll be up and running in no time. Hold on to the show. Do not change the channel. We'll be right back, and we'll be right here entertaining you with our guests.
We'll just get the slingshot out and flick it back up there.
There you go. Exactly. No expenses denied here at ehCanadaTravel.com. Right, Col?
Oh, yes, for sure.
So my name is the keeper of the code. No, that's my brother next door to me. He is the keeper of the code. He is the genius behind the tech. He is the code speaker.
Thank you.
Aren't you, Col?
Thank you.
Yes. My name is Colin Gerard.
Take care of the back end.
I'm the back end, and I'm the marketing guy. And I'm the vice president, I guess, or co-bro founder. We've got a lot of interesting names. We are the Brothers of Tourism, is the name we've been given by our clients and by some of the clients that we have worked for in the past. We're going to keep it. It's us. It's sticking with us. We're your Maple Leaf hosts of the Travel Talk Show. And just recently, not only are we called some brilliant nicknames, we did win the Best Canadian Adventure Planning Website in 2021 by Lux Life Tourism Awards. We're ranked top 100 travel global blogger influencers by Global Rise, top 100 global influencer January 2021 by Cloud Power, and we just won a National Canadian Award and a provincial out of BC Award for Best Community Marketing Program in Canada by Canada Prestige Awards and the British Columbia Economic Development Associations, and that's just 2021. I can't wait for 2022.
Yeah, watch out. Here we come.
Tonight, we're talking with adventure seekers, lifestyle influencer Janel Coe, Roadtripper Cary Horning, new Canadians Harsheen, and digital nomad Velika, Masongsong of the Adventure Seekers Club of Canada. To fit everyone in our studio tonight, we're going to have to do a little bit of dancing. So we can't really have, with our studio, we only have 4 seats. So that's one
to go, bro.
What's that?
Who's the first to go?
You are. Colin will be leaving us. Colin will
beat around the bush here. I'm out of here.
Nope. Colin's going back into the virtual green room. He's going to snack down on some Canadian beverages and Canadian entertainment and Canadian goodies. And with the 4 guests, we'll be popping them in. We'll pop in 3 to start, and then we'll get the show going. And then the other one will be joining us, and then they'll keep rotating, and it'll be a magic carousel. It'll be very, very fun. So here we go tonight. So first things first there, Junior, you're out of here. And I'm going to start bringing a couple of our guests in. And we'll go from there.
Doodles.
So what we're going to do is we've got some pretty wonderful people. And this will be Janel Coe will be joining us. Velika Masongsong will be joining us. And also Cary Horning will be joining us. And then we have in the room our friend Harsheen, which will be coming on board. And we're going to have to be doing some fancy dancy work today to make it all happen. So welcome, Janel, Velika, and Cary.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Nice to see you.
We're so happy that you guys could join us tonight and introduce your amazing stories, your future stories, and all the exciting life of being an adventure seeker. I'm so happy to have you all as well with Harsheen. So because we're going to have a little bit of a different format, we'll be flipping around. So we're going to have some fun. So let's get the show on the road. You are all newly appointed adventure seekers, very proudly so. You all have unique backgrounds. I love your stories. I've been fortunate, Colin and I, that we know a little bit of your stories. Every single one is unique and brilliant. Big reason why we were excited to connect with you on this program. So please, maybe if you could take a moment to introduce yourselves to our viewers, and maybe we'll start with you, Cary. Cary, hold on. I'm just going to take you off mute. Okay, you're good to go.
Hi, everybody.
I'm a mother of 5 and a nana to 3. I was born in Ontario. I lived there most of my life, and then business took me to Saskatchewan, where I fell in love with the huge skies, small towns, and the wonderful people. So since life's too short to live in one place, packed up the family, and we moved to Moose Jaw for 4 wonderful years. Now, westward I roll, and I reside in Calgary, Alberta.
Wow. And you love the back roads, right, Cary?
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
That's why we're sort of giving you that Cary Horning road tripping title, right?
Oh, for sure. That's where you'll find me.
Exactly. Okay. Velika, why don't you introduce yourselves a little bit to our audience, if you wouldn't mind?
Hi, friends. Thanks, Greg, for having me. So my name is Velika. As Greg said, I'm a digital nomad, and I started traveling when I was 18 on my own. I'm a huge advocate for solo female travelers, and I also work online to be able to afford traveling. But I've gone to at least 30 countries, and I'm not a fast traveler. I take my time in each country, and I kind of settle in to learn more about the culture and work a little bit. And that is my favorite style of traveling. So I can't wait to tell stories.
I so love it. I love it. We sort of got a thing going on here. Welcome to live. So Cary, we got a thing. So Velika, with your digital nomads, tell me how many countries you've been to.
I've been to about 30. I travel for long periods.
And what are some of the ones that have left the biggest impression? What?
Honestly, it's hard. I get this question. Yeah, honestly, it's hard because I get this question a lot. But some that like come up to mind when I think about it was Sri Lanka. I absolutely loved it. The people were so kind, and I got to really travel without like any vehicle. So I took the train throughout the whole time, and that was truly the most humbling experience because it was truly, you meet so many people. I've slept on so many couches and floors just to get to know people and how their lifestyle is, and it's truly remarkable, that country.
Unbelievable. And Janelle, you've got a story to tell. Let's share your story.
Hi, everybody. My name's Janelle. I was born and raised in Prince Edward Island. I was fortunate enough to go to Dalhousie University. I have a degree in sociology and anthropology. After that, I jumped plane, I should say, to Seoul, South Korea, where I taught English for 4 years in a public elementary school in East Seoul. So that was super rewarding. I picked up some Korean, and I've been I've been taking some online classes to brush up on it. But to piggyback up what Velika was saying, I'm also super into like women traveling by themselves. For me, it's very empowering. It can be a little daunting sometimes, but I just jump in. I prepare, and then I hope for the best, and then I just go do it. Where I differ though from Velika, I love how you just you take it slow and you absorb like the place that you're in. I see, with me, I feel the need to see everything, and I don't always have a lot of time. So I go. And, for me, half the time is, sitting on a 24-hour bus sometimes, traveling the country. Again, like you were saying, like public transportation is the best because you meet people. I'm an international traveler generally, but I do love traveling here in Canada too. During the pandemic, I really had the opportunity to do that and to kind of slow my pace a little bit and to appreciate where I am. So I'm really happy to be with you folks tonight. I'm looking forward to our talk.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you. And then we have Lovely. Why don't you give us a little breakdown, Lovely, and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here. I am really excited to be a part of the show. And just to give a brief background, me and my husband Harsh, we moved from India, New Delhi to Canada, Sault Ste. Marie last year. So today is actually our first year anniversary in Canada. So we have completed 1 year. The 27th was the day when we actually boarded our flight last year. So because we landed in the middle of the pandemic, we could not travel out of the province and explore many places, but we definitely tried a lot of adventure activities like snowshoeing, hiking, and biking. And recently, we have also got a puppy, a German Shepherd dog hunter. And so we are exploring new places and actually looking forward to pet-friendly, dog-friendly places. We also welcomed my brother Gaurav, who also came from India on a study permit. So it's 4 of us now in just a year from 2 to 4. And we are just enjoying ourselves and looking forward to more adventures. And obviously looking forward to meet all of you, meet you guys and meet you guys in person as well and learn from all of you.
I'm excited. I tell him Hunter's got a Facebook page.
Yes, he's got a Facebook and Instagram page with more than 1,600 followers, which is so much more than me. So he's quite the famous pup.
Yes, he's really famous. I was watching and I joined and I looked around and he's quite the famous pup you have there.
I love dog instas.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah, and they're great to follow because it even tells you a lot about the owners too, right? It's beautiful. The Adventure Seeker Club Canada is all about creating and sharing authentic stories about Canadian adventures and travels. Real people sharing experiences. No spin, no nothing. We call it the people, as we call it, the people tourism. What attracted you initially to join up in our little club here so we could all hang out? And let's start with you, Janelle.
That, there's so much to that question. It's hard to sum it up. But I would say, at my core, I'm a free spirit. I go wherever the wind takes me. And, I am an adventure traveler. I'm an adventure seeker. And what better way to try to make a career out of this, whether it be part-time or full-time, than to join this program. And it's been really rewarding so far. I mean, we're just in the beginning stages, but already I feel like I've made some real friends. Even though I haven't had the opportunity yet to meet anybody in person. So I think it's going to be really fun. I think it's interesting, Greg, at the beginning, you called me a lifestyle influencer. And that's the first time I've ever been called that. But I think it's pretty fitting because it's not just adventure. I mean, it's adventure. What I should say, it's not just travel. Adventure could be anything because I'm a foodie, I'm a craft beer girl. I like fashion, I like a little bit of everything. I like Canadian literature, I like Canadian music, I like writing. So I think, I think this is a really good program for well-rounded individuals who aren't afraid to just jump in. And when I saw the call out and I read the description, I was like, I can do this and I can do this well. So it's a really good opportunity. And, the possibilities are endless. So it's going to be great.
Totally agree. Velika, why don't you give us your take on that?
So I went to school for a double degree. I did journalism and I did also communications and marketing. So I tried to pursue journalism, but there was nothing that I was really passionate about. And what I found I was most passionate about was writing about my own stories and my travels and everybody I got to meet and, writing their stories out loud and sharing my experience with that. And I want to join that because first of all, I read blogs for everything, for travel, for just because there's nothing beats a person writing about their own experience. And I wanted to give that feeling that I get when I read other people's experiences, and it helps me with my travel. So I hope that any of the articles I write, someone reads and says, oh yeah, that sounds like a really great idea. I'm going to go do that. And I think that would make me happy. So, I didn't find my passion in the journalism that I was doing after school, but I did find it in writing my own stories. And I love the fact that people can communicate with me and say, hey, how did you do that? Please help me. or tell me how like, how was your experience? I did this and that. And that's so cool. It's just like you and I talking, and we could be strangers across the world, and you could relate to my story or my experience or want to have that experience too. And I'm all for that.
Great answer. I love that. I'm totally in on that. And everyone's shaking their heads, so I think everyone's in on it. So that's awesome. Lovely, tell us a little bit.
So my husband and I, both of us, we are very new, but we both love adventures, exploring new stuff. So what better platform could it be than this platform to join this, to be a part of it, to make friends from different places in Canada. And just like Velika, I'm also into journalism, mass communication, and public relations. So I'm doing freelance writing as well. So writing for this great platform is definitely very inspiring for me. I love to share information with other people, and I love to, learn more through vlogs or blogs, both the things. So that is why we have started our own YouTube channel as well. And through our channel, we share our journey, experiences, and everything about Northern Ontario as of now. And in the near future, of course, we'll be sharing more about other places wherever we go. And I'm just super happy and proud that we're one of the adventure seekers over here.
Excellent. And we are so happy to have you. And I'm excited to see where you guys go, because everything's new to you, right? Everything looks new to you, Loveleen. Cary, tell us about, Cary.
Hello.
Cary, tell us about a little bit about your.
Alrighty. Well, I'm very excited to have this fabulous platform to share stories on. I think that it will bring awareness to some of the roads less traveled and draw some attention to these great places for experiences people might not otherwise encounter.
Yeah, exactly. And again, we were talking a little bit earlier there, Cary. You love going into those backcountry areas and running into those small little towns, right?
Absolutely. That's where you find all the treasures.
Exactly.
The best places to eat and beautiful history. Talk to the locals and all the fun things to do.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. And I think one of the things that Colin and I really enjoy about being a seeker is you get to meet the locals. And if you get to meet the locals, then you get to really meet the town. You get to really meet the region. That's where I find our best experience. I mean, the best trails we hiked, the best hole in the walls, the best caves, the best everything we found was always something a local told us to go do. So respect the local, and you'll get a trip of the lifetime. Why, in your experience, is real people telling stories? I know some of you have touched on this, but once you get to know us, you know it's all about, we believe in the real people version of tourism. So why is it so important today when we're talking about tourism? What do you see, Velika, the difference between real people tourism and like corporate speak sort of tourism?
Yeah, well, for me, I'm a huge believer in, like you said, to get to know a town, to get to know a place, you ask the locals. So the first thing I do when I get to somewhere is I ask, bus driver, and say, what's your favorite restaurant that you've eaten around here? And I find that the best things, best memories, and the places I've found hasn't been in travel books or, TV shows. It's been in word of mouth recommendations or, the conversations that you have and people pass it down. And that's why I love real stories from real people, because it's relatable, it's personable, and it's not all fluff. Sometimes when you write, when you read about certain things, there are sponsors behind, and you don't know if you're misled in wanting to like that place because they got paid to write about it, or because you truly enjoyed it. So I know we've touched about, like, we've already talked about this, but I'm a huge believer in real people sharing transparency in stories, because travel isn't always easygoing, or it's not always so expensive or so cheap, right?
Yeah.
And the best recommendations come from those who have lived in the town, who know the hole in the walls, who know like the back roads, because they're not in the books where it's overpopulated, and maybe there's a background of why it's written there. So
yeah, and I think you hit a good point. If anyone, and a lot of you are worldly educated and also nationally educated on the way tourism is, but there's a big issue out there about over tourism in a lot of countries. And if you're lucky, like a lot of us here who have had the opportunity to go to other countries, you can really see the effect. And I'm all for finding those little spots where there is no crowds, and they're out there. But there's a reason why they're not in the book. Okay, there's a big reason why, and if you can sort those out, you're going to have a really good experience. Cary, what do you think about this? Real people telling real stories.
Well, I think that the biggest compliment that you can give somebody is a referral. So us telling our stories and experiences, having great times, the best places to dine, unique places to stay, all of the things that we're going to be sharing, I think puts a real focus on today and what's real out there, and a fun experience for just everybody. And it's a fabulous platform to be able to do that on.
Yeah, exactly. And what about you, Loveleen? What do you think?
I totally agree with you guys. And, to be honest, the hidden gems are actually told to you by people who are the local people. Mostly if you read from newspapers or you just Google a lot of stuff, most of the stuff you'll find is like the most visited places, the most famous ones. But there are always those hidden gems, those local places, be it local eating joint or a beach or a lake, say any place. But those are the places that the locals tell you. And I have personally visited and experienced such places here in Sault Ste. Marie, Northern Ontario, and it is lovely. It is fantastic, and I would love to write more about it, show more about it, because that is the true hidden gem which you have to explore, must visit.
Totally. And how about you, Janelle? What do you think of real people tourism?
So to put it simply, I think that real people telling real stories make for one-of-a-kind experiences. And this and something else that I'd just like to mention is that promoting Canadian culture, I use that in a broad term, but it doesn't necessarily always have to happen in Canada. So whenever I travel abroad, I try to think of myself as an ambassador for Canada, which is a big role, but all I try to do is to be a good person and be nice.
Yeah.
like I remember one time I was traveling in Ghana. I was traveling in rural Ghana, waiting for it's called a trotro. It's kind of a little converted minibus.
Okay.
I got to talking with this older gentleman, a Ghanaian, and when I told him I was from Canada, he had the most interesting questions. He had so many questions about the Inuit, the Aboriginals of Canada, and it really made for some really thought-provoking discussions. So. I don't know many people with that kind of story. So I think I'll echo the other great adventure seekers in here is that, don't be afraid to go off the beaten path. Over tourism is a thing. And, for me, my anxiety really rears its ugly head when I see, just a bunch of cameras and everybody taking pictures of the same thing, because where's the originality in that? I mean, if that's your deal, that's cool. It's cool to take pictures of everything. But I mean, I love to see what I can never seek out intentionally. I love to just fall into experiences and roll with it. For me, that's just really wonderful and authentic. And that's what I aim to do, is I aim to not try hard and just put myself out there.
Yeah. And you know what the thing is? It's funny because a lot of colonized friends that since through growing up, they're all sort of outdoorsy adventure type people. Either they like theater and there's some sort of tourism facet where they like something. And it's funny when you swap stories with them, they always tell you about the story with the hiccup, the story that went a little off path, the story that wasn't as planned. And it's really interesting why those are the ones. It's not the story that went perfect that ever really comes up. Right? Because I think it's those little surprises, those little experiences. Those are the memory triggers. Those are the ones that really make you stick. And
absolutely. And you know what? That actually brings me to a really important point that I always tell people, because people are like, you're so brave, Janelle, you do this very well. But guess what? I don't. I get lost all the time. I can never plan, because guaranteed I'm going to be lost. So the thing about being an adventure seeker isn't about doing things perfectly. It's just about taking risks, taking calculated risks, and being open-minded and laughing when, a 12-hour overnight bus ride, from Delhi to, where was it? Pushkar ended up, a 36-hour multi-car journey. You know what I mean? That is funny. It may not be the funniest thing at the time, but after the fact, that is hilarious.
It's stuck, right?
Yeah, it's there forever. Forever.
Yeah. So you all understand the positive benefits of travel and exploring, or we all wouldn't be here if we're not addicted to it. If we are not addicted to experiences, we wouldn't be here. And you all have, from my gathering, every one of us in this group have a storage bin of memories, unbelievable. Some of the stories, some of the memories we've shared with each other already in our short friendship has been off the charts. So what I want to ask you here, and this is where we're going to dig into that storage bin you each have, is what I'd like to know is, what's your favorite type of travel? Travel has a very wide scope. Are you a foodie? Are you a hiker? Are you a sightseer? Are you a scuba player? Are you an adventure? Are you an adventure addict? Give us, our viewers, a little taste of what sort of thing makes your travel blood flow. Let's start with you, Loveleen.
So as you mentioned, food, I think, is definitely on everyone's bucket list. I don't think there's anyone who would not go exploring food. Food is definitely there. But as I mentioned earlier, adventure is one of the things that attracts us. So we definitely look forward to adventure activities in different places wherever we would like to visit. So, be it zip lining, be it snowshoeing, be it a hike, be it canoeing, kayaking, or anything like that. So adventure is something which is on top of the list. And canoeing is something we are going to experience for the very first time this summer in August. We've already planned a canoe trip. We have got a life jacket for our puppy as well. Everything is planned, and we'll be sharing everything on our YouTube channel. So adventure and food on the top two for me.
Wow. Okay. And how about you guys? Let's go with you, Janelle. What do you think? What is making what type of travel? I sort of have a pretty good idea, but I want to hear it from you. What you sort of look at as the travel niche that you like to hit.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a wild child, Greg, me. So I'm, for those who follow me, that I'm a big public transportation nerd. And if you check out the ehCanada Travel website, I did post a shortish but good, I think, blog post on the TTC. I'm a big, advocate of public transit. It's good for the environment, and you know what else it's good for? It's good for the wallet. So I love exploring, by transit, by bus, by train, what have you, in Canada and abroad too. I love seeing. I think it's a really interesting window into how other people do things. So, when I went to Azerbaijan, when I went to the capital Baku, before I went, I just went on YouTube, figured out how their public transportation system works. Got a little, it's called a Baki card. I don't know. But anyway, it allowed for like unlimited travel or very cheap travel. I forget what. But for next to nothing, I just took the subway and I took buses all around the city. And I did my own thing. And the nice thing about public transportation is that 9 times out of 10, you can just hop on a bus or a train and end up at a subway station, which will eventually lead you back to your hostel or your hotel. So it doesn't always go smoothly, but it works. So I just think that that's a really organic way of seeing how other people live, and to try to live like the locals for a bit. I'm also really into, that I'm also a big book nerd. So I'm also really into kind of like, I would say, literature adventure travel. So, I'm checking out all of Leonard Cohen's old places in Montreal. And when I go to LA in September, I'm going to do a little solo Charles Bukowski tour. And, sorry, I'm going on a lot, but Leonard Cohen also spent a lot of time in India. And I love India. So I'm going to see if I could perhaps get a grant to kind of follow in his footsteps over there and see if I could write a little piece on Leonard Cohen.
Okay. And Velika, how about you? What's your favorite type of travel? And give us a little input on that.
Okay, well, I laugh because I like to think I am a parent's worst nightmare traveler. No, I'm kidding. Essentially, I'm a backpacker, so like budget traveler to the core, and I write about that extensively, that travel doesn't always have to be expensive. And if you desire to travel, you don't need thousands of dollars. If you're willing to make, a little bit of comfort sacrifices, then you can definitely do it. But I say that my parents' worst nightmare when it comes to traveling is because I am an adventure junkie. So I've jumped out of about 5 planes. I've done a lot of bungee jumping. I've done essentially anything I can jump out of, I've done. And then I tell my parents after. Nice. But no, I love adventure. But to my core, I am a culture traveler. So I like to get to know cultures. And that in regards to like whether I'm couch surfing or I do a lot of free walks with people, and you never get to know a culture unless you get to know the locals, and that's the kind of traveler I am. And because of that, I learned, I speak 3 languages now, and I'm continuing to do that because, the best way to do it is just to get right in it, learn the language, learn the people.
Yep. Bingo, bango, bongo. Exactly. And Cary, how about yourself? What's your favorite? And again, I think I got inside info on this, but why don't you share with fellow adventure seekers a little bit about what sort of makes your travel engine roar?
Well, I'm definitely a road tripper. That's my thing, and it leads me to all the other things that I really enjoy. Food, like everybody's mentioned, is a great thing to explore while traveling. History, learning about the places that I happen upon. I really enjoy camping, and I like fishing. Competing with Andrea is always a challenge. I got to beat that 46-incher one day, that's for sure. I like going to events and experiencing different things, whether it's a food event, whether it's fireworks, whether it's a stampede. People person, so I like to watch and at the same time talk to everybody and get an idea of, what they're thinking, and also pass along recommendations if I can.
Yeah.
People watching. That's it. That's me. I love that.
What was that, Velika?
I said people watching. That's my jam. I'll sit in the park and eat my food. I'm like, what are they up
I'm
to?
glad somebody fucked up. I'm a people watcher too. I don't need much to be entertained.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, okay, guys, for the everyday adventure traveler in Canada, what would you suggest, being that now we all know so a little bit about what you're feeling, what would you suggest a bucket list item should be if you were meeting somebody in your travels and they asked you what you would suggest? What's the one thing in Canada that you would suggest, or in your province or in your region? Janelle, let's go with you.
I would. Oh, this is a hard question because I feel like no matter what I say, I'm leaving things out. But what I would say, you know, I'll say this: if I had to choose one, because you know I'm a PEI girl at heart, and I really miss home, and I haven't been home for quite a while. I've been thinking a lot about my favorite places in PEI, and one place I would definitely recommend is the Anne of Green Gables house in Prince Edward Island. And you know, Lucy Maud Montgomery was really ahead of her time, and she's one of my favorites. And I'll just read a brief quote from Anne of Green Gables. Kindred spirits are not so scarce as I used to think. It's splendid to find out there are so many of them in the world. And that's from that is from the tourismpei.com website. So, you know, like all places in Canada, Prince Edward Island was hit very hard during COVID. And as you all know, Prince Edward Island relies very heavily on tourism. So I can't wait to get back and you know, give them my hard-earned dollars. And I hope that other people do as well. So thank you.
Excellent. Hey, you know one thing about that I really enjoyed from the PEI that many people, I did not know as much as people should know, is your beautiful, underrated coastline.
Oh, isn't it gorgeous?
Yeah, unbelievable.
It really is. It's such a photogenic province. I mean, they all are, but I mean, I'm
and every time we hit a back road, every time we went to a point, you know what we found, right? A lighthouse.
Oh, okay. like leading up to the lighthouse, it was red dirt.
Yeah. The red dirt.
Lighthouse. Yeah, there are so many, and you know, they're historical. They're they're incredible. So that, you know, when I go home, that's the first thing I do is I take myself on a little road trip and I just go check out the lighthouses. Absolutely.
Yeah. Did you do the did you do the point to point road trip of the lighthouse? Is that with the little stamp book that they got? Have you been back for that?
Not yet.
It's new.
So that's a no, but it will be a yes.
Yep. They got a little, Cary would like that, a little road tripping stamp book to make sure you go see all the cool lighthouses.
Totally.
Awesome.
Yeah. Velika, tell us, give us a bucket list item to get us all excited, just like Janelle just did. Give us something that we're all going to be writing down.
Bucket list items for Ontario or just overall?
Yeah. Oh, whatever. I'm leaving up to you to pick one dandy.
I don't know. I mean, that's a big one. I definitely, okay, so a little unknown fact about me, but I actually road trip from Ontario to out east for the first time ever because of work. So I used to be on the go host for YTV. It's like a children's TV show when I was like way young. And I think that drive was truly, like, I dream about doing it again because it was so beautiful. I got to go to PEI for the first time, you know, Nova Scotia. So definitely, like, to add on to Janelle, I'd love to go out east, and that would be my bucket list item again. Is that drive and hitting all the different little towns and provinces is just a dream.
I totally agree. That's a nice thing about road tripping is again, like we all been saying, is that these little things that we're finding. I'll give you a real short story. It's all about you, but I'm going to share one story. We went to this place in Newfoundland called Knights Point. It's got population 50 people, and we thought, okay, we read about somebody said there's a really cool hike there, so we went, and right up there, the main of town, they've got this hike. And you go up 3,000 stairs. It takes you to the top of a peak with a picnic table and a Canadian flag, and you can have your picnic there, looking over the whole Newfoundland northern coast. It was and that is something you don't find in the normal books because it's out of the way. It's not a big thing. So that it's just a shared story. Some of the things you remember, right?
Yeah.
Lovely. What's a bucket list item? Why don't you tease us a bit here with something juicy that you think everyone should take up?
Yes, of course, there are a lot of things. Sault Ste. Marie is actually called as an adventure town, as famous for adventure activities. So there are a lot of things, and we are located near to the shores of the world's largest freshwater lake, which is the Lake Superior. And in the winter, there's this very different and unique phenomena which happens. Because of the waves. There are these ice forms and structures formed, and very, very big and huge ice caves actually. So this is something which is a must watch. People from different places in the US and even Canada, they come during the time of February, January, like mid-February mostly, to actually experience the ice caves. We also did it like this winter. It was very, very unique and different. Like, I have never seen something like this before. We shot it. The video is on our channel as well. Apart from that, if you're really lucky, you get to see Northern Lights in Ontario. Yes, near Sault Ste. Marie. So that is another thing. And of course, all the winter sports and activities on Lake Superior.
That's a nice list. And that's more than one. I gotta tell you, you cheated a little bit by giving us a whole bunch. That's awesome. Thank you very much. So here's what we got, guys, is so now that you are a Canadian adventure seeker, what should the people be expecting to see you write about in the near future? What are some of the things that you want to talk and write about? Let's go with that one. Cary, why don't you give us a start? Or Cary, give us a start on that one. What are some of the things that we're going to be writing about?
Oh, some great day trips from Calgary, probably a random road trip to Saskatchewan. Mm-hmm. I'm jonesing for some Land of Living Skies and some sandwiches, and hopefully a trip to Ontario soon. So lots of things coming.
Yeah, you got some connections now, Cary.
I do.
Have
to hook up with the ladies in Toronto.
Yes, girls' night out.
For sure. Yeah.
Love it.
How about you, Velika? Why don't you tell us a little bit what the viewers and everyone else should be expecting to hear from you, some of the stories you got up your sleeve?
All right, guys, buckle up because I've been taking a social media break for 2 months now. I'm just kind of gathering all my unseen photos and videos, and they're just about ready, and my stories are just about to come out. So stay tuned, read the blog, because I'll be posting up some stories about my travels all around, including my travels here in Ontario, being in the pandemic. So follow me on Instagram at Bleaks, and you'll see my photos and unseen videos from all around.
Wow.
So I'm so excited.
I am excited.
Wonderful. Very excited.
Yeah, I can't wait to read. Yeah,
I have a year's worth of Asian stories from my travels.
Perfect.
That is ready to come out.
Perfect. I can't wait till it's so nice because eventually, hopefully, we all get to meet each other and really share some stories face to face around a campfire and do what we love to do. Harsheen, what do you think, lovely? What do you think? What would you like to say about that? About give us a little bit of feedback about what we're all hearing about here.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the audio cut out. Can you please repeat the question?
Oh, come on. Yeah. So what do you expect?
I think Lovely is just asking what you're looking forward to be sharing when
exactly.
Looking forward to sharing. Yeah.
So what do you plan on writing to be sharing in the future? Some of the stories you have in mind.
Oh, yes, of course. Sharing a lot of photographs, videos, and writing articles about all of the different activities near about Sault Ste. Marie, Northern Ontario. And apart from that, of course, we would love to travel to Alberta and and mostly adventure activities. And you're going to see a lot of stuff which is going to be dog friendly or pet friendly, be it locations, be it hotels and other stuff. We have already started doing that on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So this is definitely going to be there, because wherever like we want to go, the first thing that we search is dog friendly or pet friendly places. We cannot find much information anywhere, to be honest. We did not even know, like for example, Canadian Tire, dogs are allowed in there. We did not know. So luckily I just saw one of my friends' story, and then I called them up and asked them, says yes, they are allowed. I was so happy. Inside Walmart, if it's a service dog, it's allowed. So I did not know, because this information I could not just find anywhere. So I'm definitely going to write and make people aware about dog friendly, pet friendly locations for sure.
Yeah, I and that's interesting, because I did not know Canadian Tire allowed dogs.
Me neither.
No.
We do have few restaurants and patios here which are dog friendly. So we take out our dog there. So those are like favorite places now.
Perfect. And how about you, Janelle? What do we all get to look forward to hearing from you? What are some of the stories you've got that you're working on?
Wow, there's a lot coming up. I'm continuing to split my time between Toronto and Montreal for the summer. I'm going to be interviewing a UFO adventure seeker from Prince Edward Island, so that'll be up within the next week or two on the site. That's going to be a wild scene.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What I really love in Montreal is Mont Royal, hiking up that little hill and that view from the top. I've got to get on that. And I'm taking personal training lessons, so that, I need it after COVID, and that's going to be a really good experience. And then in September, I'm off to the US, and then from there I'm going to Dubai for about a month or so. Even though I'm going to be in the UAE, I will not forget my Canadian roots, in the sense that I'm going to seek out the Canadians. There's less than 1% of the residents of the UAE is Canadian. Way under 1%. But you know what? That's still a lot of folks. That's a large population. So I want to know what brought them there. I want to know about the cool companies, the cool initiatives, and I'll bring it back. So even though I'll be abroad some of the time, that doesn't mean that, because adventure seekers of Canada are here and we're abroad. So it's going to be a really exciting time. I'm really excited to continue, blogging and posting on Instagram, and also hearing all of your stories. And oh my goodness, I did not know that there were plans for adventure seekers to come to Ontario. This makes me extra excited. That you know what? I think that's going to be a bucket list item. Is I want to meet everybody eventually, but it's on the bucket.
That's a great one. That's a great bucket list item. If we could all just meet each other, that would be a super gift, right? So before we let you go, guys, here's the one. Everyone loves this question. We give you whatever you want to say. Do you want to say anything? Up to you how you want to close the show. So before we let you go, if there's something we haven't talked about that's important to you, then by all means bring it up and get the show on the road. Then what we're going to do is slowly we're going to see our guests go. So here's your chance to say bye, hi, thank you, please, and sorry. And then we're going to bring on Colin, and we'll close off the show. And by all means, you're all more than welcome. We're going to party back in the virtual green room, so you can hang out there, and we'll meet you there when the show is off. And we'd like to thank you all very much for joining us tonight. We do know that Canada's a big country, so we have our Ontario friends here. They're a little bit into the nighttime, so we appreciate that you guys are pulling the late night hours to join us here. So let's start with you, Velika. Is there anything you'd like to say before we let you go?
I do, actually. So I'm a huge, I love would you rather questions, or just little get to know questions. So I have a question for you guys. So here's my would you rather. Would you rather go on a full day food tour in Nova Scotia, everything paid for, or a backpacking trip 3 days with a guide out in BC?
Somebody answer.
I'll go. That was easy for me because I would drive that guide up the wall because I am slow and I would get distracted by the food because I'm a foodie. So I have to say Nova Scotia, and also I'm an East Coast girl, so I miss that lobster. And if it's paid for, I am getting like the most elite seafood and like the best wine you could imagine. So you know what? I find that would you rathers are really hard. So when you started talking about like an all expense basically paid like foodie adventure on the East Coast, I'm like, oh, this is going to be hard to top, but I bet the other one's going to be great, which it is. You know, it's just I have to go on my own pace.
Yeah,
great question. I love that.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. Lovely.
Definitely a very challenging question. Both the options are lovely, but BC for me.
Oh,
well, the West Coast is calling you, is it?
Yes, I mean, that would be my first backpacking trip in Canada, and definitely I would love to try that. I mean, Nova Scotia and the East Coast is definitely on my list. Even today, I was just watching videos of Prince Edward Island. You know, I was just watching the videos, the red sand beaches. I have never heard about it, never seen. So I just saw all that. That is definitely one of the most beautiful places. That was actually one of our first choices where we wanted to move from India actually, but things just turned around and we landed up in Ontario, which is equally beautiful, of course.
Excellent.
It suits you well, but you know we're always welcome. You know, you're always welcome to come to PEI. You know, whether it's a visit or more.
Well, and you're always welcome to come to British Columbia.
I'm so happy. Yeah. One of the perks of being a part of the group.
What's that?
What's your answer?
Oh, I'm definitely down and dirty, backpack through the mud, rain, snow, get me to a remote beach, make it another 4 days, get rid of the guy, tell him to go home and continue on for another 4 days. That's my trip all the way. I love, it's funny you said that because my favorite is backpacking. And if you do go to BC, Velika, you got to go on the Cape Spear Trail. If you could fit that in, 4 beaches. 4 beaches in a row, shipwrecks on the beach, and you hike to a lighthouse the second day. It's gorgeous. Go on that puppy. That's my little insight. Anyways, okay, so we're just going to bring on our friend here, Cary. So what we'll do here is just bring her on. Give me a sec. And what we'll do is, how about you, Janelle? Why don't you give your goodbye message, and I'm going to do a little swap here. This is all new to me too, right?
Yeah, so, you're doing good, Gray. You're doing really well.
Thanks, guys.
So goodbye, everybody. You know, until next time. It's not goodbye, but check it out. Check it out. Look what I just found right next to right on my desk. So this is what I was talking about. My backy cart. These are the flame towers. This is the flag of Azerbaijan. There's some really cool cultural museums and a mosque. So that this is what I used to get around for the couple of weeks I was there. And I will continue to explore in every way possible. I cannot wait to do this again with you folks. It was amazing.
Excellent. And thank you for coming so much. And how about you, Lovely? Why don't you give us a little goodbye? Anything you'd like to say to the viewers or to fellow seekers? Why don't you give us a little ending comment?
Yeah, I would like to really thank every one of you who joined, each and every one of you. I really look forward to looking all of your videos, reading about your vlogs, and definitely, guys, please do comment on the video over here or on Facebook about all the places that you guys would suggest us to explore in different provinces, be it BC, be it Prince Edward, be it Ontario. I mean, that like coming from our viewers would definitely be worth watching and going to. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes. Thank you so much for being here today. So we'll let you go. And I'm just going to bring on our friend here, Mr. Colin Gerard. And welcome back to the show there.
Right here, ready for you. I lost you, though.
Colin.
There you are.
How you doing?
Hey, what a great show.
We got such a good crew, right?
Yeah, every time listening, I mean, you're learning more about them. I'm humbled by their experiences and their travels. I mean, it's an awesome group.
I think it's the new Avengers myself.
The new adventurers?
Yeah, the new Avengers. Right? Marvel has nothing on our group.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So we got Cary back here, so we're going to bring Cary back in here, Call. And so we lost her for a bit because, you know, live show, internet, always our friend. So we'll bring Cary back in here, and Cary's going to give us some parting remarks because we don't want Cary not to hear her closing remarks. So, Cary, the floor is yours.
All righty, guys. Well, I've had the pleasure of knowing you and Colin for a number of years now. I have been able to watch ehCanada grow and watch both of you create all of this. This is something more than just a website. You've won awards that both of you so justly deserve, and I know there's more to come. You both have given yourselves endlessly and tirelessly to create a gift, which is a gift for Canadian businesses, small communities, Canadians, and really the whole world. And this is your story, your legacy, and I just want to say how very proud I am to be a part of it.
Oh, that's sweet, Cary. Thank you so much.
That's totally awesome.
Cary, we're so happy to have you participate and be part of it and tell us your stories. And thank you so much for those very kind words. We're humbled, and we are very appreciative of those kind words. But Cary, what we're going to do is we'll leave you. You can go bond with the other seekers in the virtual green room, and we'll come meet you there in a lickety-split.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure, Cary Horning. Road tripping Cary is what we call her here at home base. So there you go, there, Call. That was a pretty decent little show, eh? A couple little blurbs with internet, but you know, things happen. We're okay with it.
I mean, I didn't get up once. I was in tune to the whole show.
Oh wow! We had your attention for the whole hour. That's impressive.
Great people for such varied backgrounds. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome to all work together and help each other and help spread our stories. I'm really excited. So thank you to our guest, lifestyle influencer Janel Coe. That's our new name based on what I've been seeing on Janelle's Instagram. She's totally a lifestyle influencer. So I think that's so cool. And then road tripping Cary Horning, glad to have her as always. New Canadians, Harsheen, and her husband. And just so you know that Harsheen, just so you guys know, that's their sort of nickname for their adventures between Loveleen and her husband. And then we have digital nomad Velika Masongsong. She told me to say it like a GJ, so I'm going to Masongsong of the Adventure Seekers Club of Canada. Tomorrow, you'll find this interview in the Travel Talk community and Talk Show sections. We will be having it on our award-winning website, ehCanadaTravel.com. You can go to Travel Talk community. You can check it out there. We'll also be sharing it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and Tumblr social media pages with our groups and our friends. A special thank you to you, the viewer. You guys rock. Every week you tune in, or if you're not able to tune in, you let us know that you're watching it a later day or a week later or a month later, and we appreciate every view. So thank you to you for spending this hour with us, and for our adventure seekers to introduce themselves to you. Thank you for those who share our show. Thank you if you share our posts, and also keep an eye out for the adventure seeker posts and double share them. Just help them out too as well. Share their stories, because as you can tell, they're pretty cool. And thank you to those tourism businesses and communities who acquire us for our services. You guys rock. Thank you for allowing us to be here and growing our dream and meeting people of high quality and high adventure acumen. We are the co-bro hosts of the A Travel Talk Show, Greg and Colin Gerard, Junior to him, Doug to me, Ducky to him. We all got a whole bunch of nicknames. And remember, Canada Book Direct with Canadian tourism businesses. This is huge. This is personal to our hearts because we know the businesses. The Expedias and Booking.coms of the world take a big chunk of every booking you make. That chunk used to stay in the communities, used to put our sports teams up, used to put rinks on our curling rink. What you need to do is book directly with Canadian business websites. Let them keep the 13 to 18%. Let them put it back into their businesses and into their communities. When you book directly with the Canadian business websites or with referring tourism websites like ehCanadaTravel.com, which aren't commission-based, we are referral-based, and those type of websites, you are putting food on the table of a struggling tourism business in Canada. Every booking counts, okay, guys? And it's very important that we try to hold on to that sort of frame. So, Colin, I'm going to, I guess I'm going to let you take off with this right now and close this out. Thank you again to all the seekers and to you seekers around the world who aren't part of the adventure seekers. Adventure hard, explore hard, keep your mind free, and embrace culture, language, and traditions. So thank you very much. So here you go, Colin. It's all yours, buddy.
Nicely put, bro. I basically forgot to say, though, about how businesses should sign up because of COVID. I mean, we offer you a free year of photolistic advertising to bring people to your business. So sign up today, tomorrow, and get bookings tomorrow. Next week, we'll be going on the road. So please turn in every Tuesday at 7 in the month of August. We're showcasing the top 4 travel talk shows of all time. This has been exciting. There've been some great ones, and stay tuned.